Hello squad! Today I wanted to come to you and share as I am unboxing my fall decor. So a friend and I were talking and she said, I would really love to see a video of how you decorate for fall. So that will be coming. I will show you guys where I put all of these things, but I want to go through and just show you what's in here and kind of talk about some of the individual pieces. As we go through, I will kind of share my thoughts about fall decor and how that has sort of evolved and changed over the years. And then I will also share some resources that I have found to be really helpful. So I have these two bins here and I do have them labeled as fall decor. And they are just, I think the brand is called Real Organized, and they just open up like this. I have some red and green ones just like this for Christmas, but I have limited myself to these two bins for fall decor. If I'm remembering correctly, I think that most of one bin I didn't even use last year. I think it was mainly just one, but we're gonna look through and see what I've got. So this was something that I found last year at a yard sale with the intention to use at my family's pumpkin carving party. It is originally from the Target dollar spot, and it is just this pumpkin on one side and then it has a chalkboard on the other. So this isn't really something that I will probably use in our home. I might use it like in the kids' room or in the playroom, but I will definitely use it for the pumpkin carving party. We had a fall wedding. We got married in October and I made our bouquets. When we got married, it was very much the beginning of the Pinterest era, and everything was very DIY and artsy and all of that. It's easy to look back at some of those things now and they feel dated, but at the time they felt very fun, they felt very exciting. So I got these flowers at Hobby Lobby, I got these pumpkins on stems, and then I actually made the burlap roses. If I were getting married in the fall now in 2021, this would not be what I would choose, but they are kind of sentimental, kind of special. So a while back I did go through and pare them down. I didn't keep all of my bridesmaid bouquets, I just kept a few of them. So it looks like I have 4 here. To be honest, I probably will not be putting these anywhere. They're not really so much my style anymore, and I think that's okay to say. I still am going to hang on to them, just I don't really know why, just because, but I'm not going to probably be putting them out in my home. They do have some really pretty elements and details to them, and no bouquet is quite the same. And like I said, at the time when I made them, I was really happy with them. I liked the way that they turned out. And I'm not disappointed that I chose them. I think at the time it sort of made sense for me and my style, and also what was just in style in general. But I don't really have a place for them anymore. Okay, moving right along. I have a few different faux pumpkins of a couple of different varieties, and now might be a good time to talk about faux pumpkins versus real pumpkins. Somebody that I have mentioned before and I will mention again for style inspiration, for home inspiration, is Myquillyn Smith. Her Instagram channel is The Nester. She has several best-selling books and I've read a few of them. And one thing that she encourages you to do is use things that you would find in nature as opposed to a lot of things that you have to store away. I do only have 2 bins here, so I don't feel like what I have is excessive for me, but everybody is different. I love the look of real pumpkins and I will probably purchase a few. However, if you find an artificial pumpkin that you like, that you think is a good scale, that looks good in your home, over time that's going to hold its value more than a real pumpkin. Especially if you find it at a good deal, yard selling or thrifting, that pumpkin in the long run is going to cost you less than if you bought one that is a real pumpkin. I hope that makes sense. I would advocate for you to definitely buy real pumpkins, to use real pumpkins, but I also don't think that artificial pumpkins are off limits. So you'll see several today in my collection, and I'm okay with that. So the first one, of course, is this sort of grapevine type of material. I did find this thrifting, and if I remember correctly, I think it had some orange little beads kind of woven throughout. Maybe they were red, maybe they were orange, but they weren't really my taste. And so I just removed those. So now it's just kind of plain and I like it better this way. Another one of my faux pumpkins that I really like is this one. It is sort of a white color, but then it's got this on the bottom, and I don't know, I just always liked it. It originally came from Marshall's. All right, while we're on the artificial pumpkins, I will just continue on and show you all that I have. So I have this little small one that actually is a candle. I found it while I was thrifting. And of course the candle is not where you can see the wick anymore. I had said last year I might clean this out and be able to have that well to use for a real candle or to store something in there. And I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I will or not, but I think it's a sweet little pumpkin. These three little ones here, I think these two were from Dollar Tree maybe 2 years ago, and I was really just surprised at how cute they were to be from the Dollar Tree. Again, they're pretty small, so I would need to pair them with something else. But I was pleased with those. And I think this one came from my mother-in-law. I hope I'm right in saying that. But I think this one came from her. The next two pumpkins are sort of similar. One was thrifted and one I believe was not. The first was this pumpkin here. I don't believe that this one was thrifted, but I like the color of it. And then this one was thrifted, and it is just one of my personal favorites. This one is sort of reminiscent of the first grapevine one, but this one I found last year, I believe, while thrifting, and it does have lights inside of it. So I think this will probably find its home in the kitchen this year, but we will wait and see. And then the last is this pumpkin candy jar. So sometimes I will put candy corn in here. My favorite thing to put in it are the Harvest M&Ms, which are incredibly hard to find for whatever reason. You'll have to let me know if they are hard to find in your area. It's nearly impossible to find them here. I'm not sure why. All right, so that is the collection of pumpkins. When it's all spread out here, it looks like a lot. I don't always use all of them, but it's nice to have them to pull from. One of my very favorite thrifted finds is just this small little acorn. The top does come off, so if you wanted to put things in the middle of it, you could. I've had the stem fall off once or twice and I've had to glue it back on, but it is just really a sweet piece. I also found this leaf while thrifting, and last year I used it to store my essential oil bottles in next to my diffuser, and it made for just a really pretty but also practical use. I found one more that I realized I forgot about. I also have a large clear pumpkin. Also this little pumpkin that is actually a candle. This was also thrifted. So I think it's safe to say I don't need to buy any more faux pumpkins. I think we are good here. So one thing that I wanted to talk about was faux leaves and berries and foliage and all of those things. Last year was probably the first year that I brought branches of leaves into my home, and that was really fun. I enjoyed doing that. The thing to also remember about that is that they do wither fairly quickly. So if you're doing that, you probably will have to be replacing them every so often. So what I like to do is have some really realistic, more maybe muted tones in my faux decor, and then I will bring in those real items when I can. I will bring in those real items whenever I am hosting or when I'm planning to have somebody over. So the first thing is just this eucalyptus, but it is in a darker color. I think that this looks very fall, and you can tell that it's not super realistic, but I think in a vase or combined with other things, it still looks nice without looking terribly fake. I do have a collection of these Hobby Lobby sort of crepe paper leaves, and I've used these in various applications. I'm not sure how or if I will use them this year, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. But they are just a fun, different little sort of leaf. Probably my favorite thing in all of my collection of fall foliage are these wheat stalks. These were actually a thrifted find. I do have to be careful with them with the kids because I guess they were used to put in floral decor, and so they have these very sharp floral picks at the bottom. But usually I will just put these in a pitcher or a vase, and they really bring that fall feel inside. I have a small collection of these from Hobby Lobby, and again, I think they give that fall feel without looking incredibly artificial. I have various types of berries that sometimes I will stick in and around if I just need a little bit more fall color. So I have these here that are more of a glass bead, and I have these that are more of a whimsical type design. And then another thing that I really like are these sprigs from Hobby Lobby. And they have the acorns, they have the pine cones, they have some of those little berries, and they have some leaves. Again, they are artificial, but they don't look so terribly artificial, and they would probably look even more real if you took the leaves off and just had these little sprigs here. So this was something that I know I shared last year. I think it is technically a tablecloth, but a lot of times I will put it over an ottoman or just kind of lay it across somewhere, and it will add a little bit of fall color in a way that I think is pretty. I do have just a few Thanksgiving specific items. The first one is this little turkey, and again, it is a container. The last few things in this bin are not so much decor as they are supplies. That's something that Michael and Smith talks about a lot. And so these are sort of along that vein. They are things that are consumable, that you use, and that kind of make it feel like more of the season. So the first thing are these Thanksgiving cups. We had a Thanksgiving feast years ago at church, and I bought these, and we had some extras. And so these are fun to pull out at Thanksgiving just to be a little bit festive and also have something that you're not worried about the kids breaking. These came from Walmart, I believe. I'm sure they probably will have something similar again this year. If you were doing a fall event with kids, you can put crayons in them. I think that's what we did at our church that year, and they're just really sweet. I bought a few different Thanksgiving decor items that are consumable from a yard sale. They were actually originally from the Target dollar spot. The first was this Be Thankful banner. And I did originally buy it for a meal that I was hoping we would have at church, and then COVID hit and we didn't have it. So it's just been hanging out here. So maybe I'll get a chance to use it this year. And then also I bought this Give Thanks wreath. And as you can see, we put 2 leaves on it last year. So I'm going to remove these 2 leaves, and maybe we will actually complete the wreath this year. The last thing from that collection were these little note cards where you can say what you are thankful for. I do have this little pumpkin magnet that I put on our fridge every year. It's not actually a magnet, but I clip it on with some of our Dollar Tree metal clips. And then the last thing I actually forgot about, I got this at a consignment sale a couple of years ago, and it is Halloween bingo. So it is so precious, and I think we'll actually be able to use it this year. You punch these out as your playing pieces, and then the cards in the back have all sorts of little things that you can get bingo with. Okay, so that is all of the decor. So now it's time to find a place to put it all and try to make it all make sense. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite thing was that I unboxed, and then make sure you come back and check and see where I put everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, I am doing Vlogtober, so I'm doing a video every day or thereabout, and I would love to have you join along for the fun. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will be talking to you soon.